Hello. Today we're diving into some of the deepest, most thought-provoking, and even frightening quotes that make us reflect on life, the universe, society, and ourselves. Are you ready? Let's begin. Human nature. African proverb. A child who has not received warmth from the village will burn it to the ground just to feel it. Poor environment is always a losing situation for both sides. Friedrich Nietzsche. Whoever fights monsters should see to it that in the process they do not become a monster themselves. And if you gaze long into an abyss, the abyss also gazes into you. Mark Twain. Every person, like the moon, has a dark side that they do not show to anyone. The universe and our place in it. Arthur Clarke. Either we are alone in the universe or we are not. Both possibilities are equally terrifying. On the nature of the universe. The universe is not inherently just or unjust, good or bad, right or wrong. The universe is not good, so we must make it so ourselves. Douglas Adams. Space is big. You just won't believe how vastly, hugely, mind-bogglingly big it is. War and power. Otto von Bismarck. Anyone who has once looked into the glazed eyes of a soldier dying on the battlefield will think twice before starting a war. Irony in practice. Strangely, this doesn't happen very often in practice. Yes, Hitler was a soldier in World War I, and it didn't stop him from starting another war. Worse still, those who fight monsters must beware lest they themselves become monsters. Absolute power. Power tends to corrupt, and absolute power corrupts absolutely. John Emmerich Edward Dalbach Acton. Society and its problems. Fragility of society. Society is only 9 missed meals away from collapse. Terrorism and survival. My father works in counterterrorism and often advocates for humanitarian aid based on this principle. A prohibited terrorist organization recruits people by preaching some newfangled religion. They attract individuals by offering food. People who cannot provide for their families will kill anyone for what they need most. Jane Goodall on conservation. The first step in saving apes is caring for people. If their needs are met, they will stop poaching monkeys for money. Time and life. Pink Floyd. Time. Days seem so long, yet years pass so quickly. Reflection on aging. My mother says she waits all day to go back to sleep. It feels like 12 hours. But when she held her first grandchild, she realized 28 years had passed. It seemed like yesterday she was changing my older sister's diaper, but now she can't remember how to change a baby's diaper because so much time has gone by. Carl Jung on self-awareness. Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life and you will call it fate. Philosophical thoughts. Nihilism and meaning. If nihilism leaves you in despair, it means you stop thinking before reaching the end. In Nigeria, you will find freedom to change the world without being bound by the ideas of long-dead people. H.P. Lovecraft on ignorance. We live on a quiet island of ignorance in the midst of a black sea of infinity. And this does not mean that we must venture beyond its boundaries. Future of science. So far, sciences moving in separate directions have done little harm, but one day, assembling scattered pieces of knowledge into a unified whole will reveal such terrible prospects about reality and our place in it that we will either go mad from the revelation or seek refuge in the safety of a new Middle Ages. Cosmic perspective. Vastness of space. Space is big. You just won't believe how vastly, hugely, mind-bogglingly big it is. You might think it's a long way down the road to the chemists, but that's just peanuts to space. Life and loss. You can make no mistakes and still lose. This isn't weakness, it's life. Darkness within. Kurt Vonnegut on masks. We are what we pretend to be, so we must be careful about what we pretend to be. Anonymity online. For anonymity online, behavior differs from identifiable actions. To plunge into madness, people need only one night alone with their deepest fears. Death in existence. Cormac McCarthy, The Road. When we all die, no one will remain except death. And even her days are numbered. She will walk the road and all around will be empty. Albert Einstein on war. I do not know with what weapons World War III will be fought, but World War IV will be fought with sticks and stones. Van Gogh's last words. Sadness will last forever. Ecological wisdom. Indigenous proverb. When the last tree is cut down, the last river poisoned, and the last fish caught, only then will you realize that money cannot be eaten. Art and perception. Ursula K. Le Guin on happiness versus evil. The problem is that we have a bad habit, encouraged by pedants and sophists, of considering happiness as something rather stupid, while only pain is intellectual and only evil interesting. This betrayal of art lies in refusing to acknowledge banal evil and the dreadful boredom of pain. Freedom and control. Freedom's death. Thus dies freedom under applause. Senator Underwood. Star Wars parallels. The scariest part of the prequels isn't that the Empire defeated the Republic, it's that the Empire is the Republic. Just as Vader is Anakin. Religious and historical quotes. Member of the Manson family. I am the devil and I am here to do devilish work. Spoken by Tex Watson during the Sharon Tate murders. Statistics on death. 1 death is a tragedy, 1,000,000 deaths is a statistic. Corruption of youth. The surest way to corrupt a youth is to instruct them to revere those who think alike and despise those who think differently. Nietzsche. Final thoughts. End of days. Someone has to go first. It's an old story, there's simply no other way. Richard Dawkins. Moral responsibility. If you do not speak up for your will, others will kill you and say you enjoyed it. Inevitability of time. Days are so long, but years are so short. Thank you for watching. In the comments below, share the scariest quote you know and don't forget to check out our other videos.